All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am excited to goal set. Goal setting is kind of my thing. I really, really enjoy it. And I've gotten away from it. So I'm excited to kick this off and get ready for 2023. This is always a good week to kind of, probably after tonight, tomorrow, you're in like full on holiday mode, but you still have some downtime that maybe we can do some planning. And then we can pick, like, I'm gonna go over this tonight, and then we'll probably do another call before the first of the year, or I'll do a live in the group, or I'll do something just to get everybody like really ready right before January 1st, right? So when we are goal setting, I have learned all of my goal setting trainings, techniques from Chalene Johnson, who has learned everything from Brian Tracy. They have a very similar goal setting system. And so I've read a lot of their books, listened to a lot of their podcasts, YouTubes, all the things. So, these are a lot of what I'm saying are things, concepts that they do and they teach. Brian Tracy has amazing books out there. Chalene has her book Push, plus you can find her on every social media platform out there that's possible. So when we are thinking about our health and fitness goals, you want to make sure that they are measurable, right? So if we just say things like, I want to feel better, I want to be more healthy, I want to, you know, fit into certain clothes, things like that. And that the clothes can be measurable, but if you're just saying, I just want to feel better, I just want to look better, those really aren't measurable goals, right? Like that's great. So that's like maybe a statement that you could make. Like it's like a vision. You can visualize yourself feeling better, not waking up with stomach aches, headaches. I shared on my social media today that I have psoriasis and eczema on the back of my neck, and the dermatologist shared that nutrition plays a big role in that. And she also shared that stress plays a big role in it. So it tends to flare up in stressful situations and when you're eating more gluten, dairy, and sugar. And I'm like, hello, holiday season, hands in the candy bowl every other minute. So yeah, so I know that it is super flared up right now. But when I did 4-week gut protocol, it was clear, and I was like, wait, is it gluten? Is it dairy? What is it? And when she named all three today, I was like, oh, that's why when I did a 4-week program where I cut those three things out, my neck wasn't all itchy and irritated and inflamed. So nutrition is definitely key. And that is something I can measure. I won't be all itchy and inflamed and going like this in the middle of the night and then having a red, irritated neck if I cut out gluten, dairy, or cut back on gluten, dairy, and sugar, right? So tonight I want us to sit down and kind of do the work. I want us to just focus on Q1 goals. When I'm goal setting, I do the whole year. I do like, what are my top 10 goals for the next year, like in 2023. But then I like to break it down to like, okay, what 2 to 3 things do I want to accomplish in Q1? So I kind of want us to just do that tonight. I've actually decided on one goal to just focus on regarding my health, and that is to lose 15 pounds. Again, I'm not going to stress if the scale doesn't do what I want it to do. However, I will be doing things that I know will want to make the scale go down. So obviously it's going to at least go down 7 or 8 pounds in the first quarter, right? So even if I don't reach that 15, I'm at least moving towards getting towards that goal. I know in my, like, when I look in the mirror, like, and I say to myself, are you doing everything you should be doing to lose those 15 pounds? And a lot of times the answer is no, right? So I can't blame the scale always, because I know that I'm not doing everything that I need to do, right? And so, and then the other question I ask myself is, am I willing to do everything that I know I should be doing to reach that goal? And sometimes the answer is no. Right now in this season of my life, like, my eczema and psoriasis is all flared up. I literally looked at the dermatologist and I said, so until the first of the year, it's going to be flared up because I'm going to continue to eat gluten, dairy, and sugar for the next 2 weeks. And she was like, you go, and so I'm being honest with myself and honest, as I'm, so I know the scale isn't going to start going down currently, right, in this season, but come January 1st, game on, let's do this, right? And I would say for myself too, this holiday season, I have not gone overboard. I'm not, like, in the past, I have, like, from Halloween to the new year, just been like, okay, can you stop? Like, let's rein this in, right? And this year I specifically just was like, okay, don't stress about being on an eating plan, just do better so that you can feel better, and feel not, I don't, so, right. So the scale has been going down these past 2 months, not drastically, but it's gone down 2 to 3 pounds and it's staying down there. It's not climbing, which it had been doing. The other thing that we want to think about when we're setting these goals is that different things are happening for different people in our lives, right? The 5 ladies here that are on the call, we are not in our 20s and 30s. And I'm still in my 40s, but I'm getting out of my 40s pretty soon, right? So we know that this season of life we're in, there are different things that we're going to need to do. Like, we're not, when we were 20, 30, I remember starting this journey when I was 34 and I dropped 15 pounds like nothing. Right now, 15 pounds seems like it's going to take me 10 years, right? It's just this huge task. But knowing that I can do it, knowing that I have the tools, knowing that I need to be honest with myself. And even if I don't reach that goal of losing 15 pounds, I am definitely going to get closer by working and putting in these action steps that I need to do to get there, right? Following a nutrition plan, cutting back on sugar. And I will never cut out sugar. Nobody would be able to live with me if I cut out sugar. Like, that would just be impossible. Cutting back on gluten, cutting back on dairy, knowing my yellows in Portion Fix should really come from brown rice, quinoa, and sweet potatoes, not breads and pastas, right? Like, they're at the bottom of the yellow list for a reason, right? Like, so we know, we're like, oh, but I can have 2 yellows. And, a lot of times it's like a half an English muffin and some pasta for me. And I'm like, well, that is why the scale isn't moving, because I'm thinking my yellows should be sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, things, peas, right? Things like that, that have more nutritional value than breads and pastas. But every once in a while, it's okay. So setting things like yes, Crescent Ridge would be very sad, Andrea. I have a peppermint Yule log from Crescent Ridge that got delivered today in the freezer currently. And then yesterday, Ella's like, wait, is my cookies and cream all gone? Because there were 2 of them in there. And I'm like, yes. And she's like, there was kind of a lot left in there. I said, yes, Ella, I had actually no business of finishing that carton of ice cream. But when I took out the scoop and I looked at what was left, I was like, well, I just can't leave that. So I put the rest in. She's like, do you have a bellyache? I'm like, soda. Yep, thank you. so right, we move on. But yes, so setting maybe a scale goal, and maybe a scale goal isn't something that you're open to setting, and that's, again, totally fine. So maybe you've noticed your clothes are fitting tighter. So if you're in, a size 10, you're like, I don't want to go buy a 12. I'm going to get comfortably in these 10s, and so maybe that's something you're working towards. I shared on social media that, I was noticing on my bike that I could keep up with the trainer who was saying, this is the cadence you should be in, this is the zone you should be in. And I can't remember when we got the bikes, but when we first got them, it's probably been almost a year now, right? Maybe March, is that when it launched? I don't even know. So when I first got the bike, the trainer would say, okay, pedal, your RPM should be around 90. And I was like, what? I couldn't even, it was like, I was like dying at 90, right? And now, when they're like, okay, don't go over 110, I find my feet going so fast that I'm at 110. I'm like, what just happened, right? And now I know where my resistance needs to be to get up in zone 3, where in the beginning I stayed in zone 1 and 2. I could, because I was just, it was too, my lung, I was like, this is too hard. I thought I was going to pass out, right? My heart rate was skyrocketing into 170. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is too high. So you just kind of, now I noticed this week, I was like, oh, I can do everything that they're saying and I'm not going to pass out, right? So again, that's another measurable goal, something, how many push-ups you can do, how many, honestly, I've been doing these programs for 12 years now, P90X, all the, we've done all the ones, Body Beast, P90X, all the hard ones, right? I actually don't do any push-ups on my toes anymore. I just don't. I'm like, why do I need to? I don't feel like I need to at 46 try to prove to myself that I can do. I know I can do about 5 to 10 on my toes, but I find that my form slacks. I arch my back, and I so I'm like, okay, just do them on your knees. Who are you trying to prove that? Ollie, you try to show Ollie you can do some push-ups? What is that? Nobody's watching, and I don't need to, where I felt like I needed to before. But if you're at that season of life where you are like, I want to try to get to 10 push-ups in Q1 on my toes, then that's a measurable goal, right? So that's where I want us to kind of focus tonight. Let's set 3 measurable health goals for Q1. And then let's put at least 2 action items next to each one. So for me to lose 15 pounds in Q1, following portion fix or gut protocol, limiting, that's an action item, following the nutrition plan, completing a program. Maybe completing a program is actually one of your goals. Maybe completing a fitness program is one of your goals. So what are you going to do to do that? You're going to maybe come on your action item could be maybe come on our morning workout Zoom, commit to posting at least 5 days a week. That's the other thing with completing a fitness program. If a fitness program is 5 to 6 days a week and you're only working out 4 days a week, that's okay. It doesn't mean that completing a 21-day fitness program in 28 days means you didn't complete the fitness program. You completed it doesn't matter how long it takes you. So I think that's a lot of times we get hung up in that. We look at maybe for sure thing, we look at this 8-week program. For me, sleigh rides right now, we're supposed to, is this supposed to be the 3rd week? Yeah, we're supposed to be done with 15 sleigh rides on Friday. I have sleigh ride 10 scheduled tomorrow. I'll finish the 15 rides, but it's not going to be by this Friday. And that's okay, right? So whatever that looks like for you, that's okay. Completing a program doesn't mean completing it in the exact allotted time. It just means you complete it, right? And it's okay if it takes you a little longer. So I want everybody to kind of get out of that mindset of it has to be perfect or I quit. A lot of people will ask in the group, you probably have seen, hey, I had to take a week off because I got sick. Do I start over? Do I pick up where I left off? Just pick up where you left off. Unless you took 3 months off, just pick up where you left off. There's no need to keep starting over in week 1 because you miss, just pick up where you left off. That's okay. Life happens. We're not robots. We're not perfect. We're not meant to be. So yes, the answer is always going to be pick up where you left off, unless you had surgery and you were out for 12 weeks. Then yes, please start over, right? It'd probably make more sense to start at the beginning in that sense. You don't need to start week 6 of a 12-week program after having surgery, right? Or having an injury or having an illness. So Does that give everybody a good starting point, like setting 2 to 3 tangible, measurable goals for Q1, and then coming up with like 2 action items to get to those goals? Is everyone kind of clear on that? Okay, cool. So let's just take a minute, but please feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions if you need to, but I'm going to just set a 2-minute timer for us to do that. And 2 to 3, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Oh, and I like to write my goals as if they've already happened. So I have lost 15 pounds by March 31st, 2023. Are there 31 days in March? I don't even know. Okay. So write it as if it's already happened. Okay. So for me, I just put, I know I'm going to complete sure thing, so I don't really know why I put it. I just couldn't think of a third goal because I do want to just focus on the 15 pounds and fitting comfortably back in my clothes, like where the leggings aren't rolling down. That's my version of fitting comfortably back in my clothes when I'm not always hiking them back up over my belly. And the action items to get there are all kind of the same. They're gonna cover both of those, right? And some of my action items are, say I start the week really good with my consistent breakfast of eggs, spinach, a half an English muffin, and sometimes like 2 slices of turkey bacon and some fruit. And then by Thursday, I'm like, and I grab a Dunkin' Donuts egg and cheese on an English muffin. I get donuts for the family on the weekends, right? So my consistent breakfast all 6 days. So I know I'm still going to grab donuts for the family at least one of the days on the weekends. That's just where I know where I am right now. Maybe I'll get there where I don't, but for right now, that's where I'm at. Getting up for the 5:45 a.m. Zoom. I find starting earlier makes it less stressful while I'm getting the kids off to school and making lunches. At least I have 15 minutes under my belt before everybody joins. Committing to Portion Fix, ice cream once a week. I actually have been really good with that. I did have ice cream twice this week already, but I haven't done that in a really long time. Like prior to that, I haven't had ice cream since maybe around Halloween. So actually I've been really good with ice cream. I don't know why, but I won't complain. And then I wrote one of my action items: do not buy the sweets. Don't buy the sweets. Just don't buy the sweets. Like the girls like Ella likes her ice cream, and Sammy, I don't need, she has like, she likes Ghirardelli caramel chocolates and she keeps them up in her room. Like, so nobody, so like I'll buy stuff in the pantry and then Mark and I eat it. And I'm like, okay, the kids aren't even eating these. So don't buy the sweets. And then meal prepping on Sunday, which we do really well, but then doing it again on Thursday, because by Thursday night we start eating out. So, and sometimes it's our favorite sushi place, it's a salad, like it's not like we do anything crazy, but we got a meal prep twice a week. So that's my action items for that. How did everybody else do? Anyone want to share?
So I have a lot. So the biggest thing, and it's kind of tied into my main goal, which is running the Marine Corps to make up for not running it this year because my ankle. So to do that though, I have to lose 20 pounds because you cannot lose weight when marathon train. I cannot lose weight when marathon train because it's just the fueling that comes with that. It's just, it's hard when you have, a job. Like, it's hard. I can only do one or the other. So I'm gonna lose 20 pounds by March 31st. How to do that is get back to Portion Fix, because that's what works best for me. To Be Mindset, I just get creative. Posting in the log, because that really keeps me accountable. Only eating out once a week. So we're really good, like Nicole, like the first few days. But since my sister has moved down here, they're huge foodies. I mean, he's a chef, and they're not watching what they're eating. And it's like, not only is it all this food, but like it's $150 a pop just for me to go.
Right.
So it's like, I got to stop that once a week. I'm not going to stop. I can't say I'll stop it completely.
Right.
It's like a social thing, right? Eating before I work out. I did best with 80-day obsession, when I ate before my workouts. I just felt I gained muscle easier that way. And I don't know, listen to that video that you sent, and then I listened to another podcast. I'm like, okay, it just something clicked. I'm like, that's what it was, eating before that. And a lot of times I'll go for a 10-mile run and not have anything in my stomach.
Oh, wow.
I'll fuel during the run, but I'm fueling on basically sugar or carb, because that's what a lot of that fuel is. And no eating after 7, because I tend to I can be really good all day, but like you, the junk is in the cabinet, and it's not even really junk. I don't really buy lunch because my kids, they'll eat it all before I can get to it. So I'm like, no, I'm not spending all that money for you to consume a thing of goldfish in a night. That's $11.99. But it's like, you always find something. There's always something hidden in the cabinet somewhere. So that's my big thing.
Yeah. It's so funny you said about that video about being in perimenopause and eating before we work out. So she kept saying Greek yogurt. So I don't know if you guys have heard me share this before. I have tried my entire life to like yogurt, and I literally just can't. That tartness, like I don't like vanilla Shakeology. Like I don't like tart. Like I don't like it. I don't like that bite. It feels to me like, it tastes to me like it's sour. Like I'm like, oh, like, and so I've tried to put granola in it. I've tried the Greek yogurt. I've tried this kind. Like I think the only type of yogurt I ever had in my life, that I was like, oh, this is good, and it's probably not even yogurt, was like the Snackwell's chocolate yogurt.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like pudding. It wasn't really even yogurt, right? But they called it yogurt. So I was like, you know what I could do though, is I could do a half of the mint bars, the mint peach bars. I could, or just a bite, like a quarter of just a bite of those, because I work out so early too. So
that's the thing. Like, I don't want to get up any earlier than I already do to make. And the thought of a full breakfast at that time.
Right.
And most days, my breakfast is my Shakeology because it's on my way to work. But it's got cauliflower, spinach. I don't want that stuff at 5:30 in the morning.
And
So
I
I
used
was,
to do like maybe like for 80-day obsession, I used to do like a piece of toast with peanut butter or something. But
I
then
did my shake before,
oh,
but I want
see,
to save that because then
yeah,
I
I
don't have
feel
to
like that would,
worry about bringing something to work or go in the cafeteria
yeah,
and or whatever. So I was thinking, I'm very picky about my yogurts. I'm like you, it's a lot of them I don't like because I don't like that, but I do like the zero fat. I think it's Fage,
oh
however you
yeah.
say it.
Hmm.
And I put a tablespoon of chocolate hummus in it and I mix that. And I
Yeah,
mean,
so
it
that might
still
take
has a
some
little
bite.
bit of that, but
Yeah,
I could get that down easily. So I
yeah,
picked some up and I think I'm gonna start tomorrow before my workout and try it and see.
yeah. Because I know she said, I was like, oh, I could do a half a banana. And then she's like, not something like a banana. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, they want protein.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I could do a bite of a mint chocolate chip, the mint chocolate chip bar. I could just do a bite because I can't do a
Yeah.
lot of that anyway. Because it gets I can't eat a full beach bar. They make me gassy. All protein bars make me gassy. Like all if
Yeah,
there's
I'm not a fan. I bought the mint ones because I love mint, but but you like I don't like protein bars. So like I had it for a snack the other day because I was starving. I'm like, well, it's better than what I could pick. But like it will take me probably 3 months to go through the whole box.
yeah. And I feel like that one's super light. Like it's very
Yeah.
like it's not a heavy one like the chocolate peanut butter. Like I feel like it's very
Yeah.
crisp. It's just that little crisp. So I think that's what I'm gonna start doing too. I'm gonna have a little bite of that because I do have my Energize but I do want to kind of try to listen to what some advice. I want to just try different things as in this stage of life to see if things
Mhm.
will help get things moving along with different goals. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, Gwen. Snoring away over there.
Oh.
All right. Anybody else want to share? I'm excited. I need to do this again. Like I need to be consistent on this again.
Yeah, I'll share real quick. This is the first time I'm actually really doing it, like writing it down, and I put it in my phone so I know where it is at all times. Um, so one of the things that I put for one of my goals is to do sure thing at the start of the new year. And one of my actions is I will wake up and work out every morning with the group. Because that's been a challenge for me right now, just getting my body out of bed and not being so tired all day long. I literally just finished working out when we started this call. So I can't do that. Like I can't do that. So I need to just get out of bed. Um, I will keep a log of my workouts and my rest days. And then my other goal is gut protocol because I'm having a lot of gut issues. I think I need to go back to that. And even though I'm having testing done, just having, I think just limiting everything and starting all over, just to see what's bloating me, I guess you could say. And in order to do that is meal prep every weekend for the coming week. Like I try and I do pretty good, but then I fall off at like Wednesday. Then it's just like, oh, my husband's like, okay, let's go out for happy hour. Okay, let's do it. So it's kind of like just reining that in. I don't mind going out for happy hour, but being smart about what I'm gonna have if I'm gonna even eat. Um, and then the other action plan for gut protocol is just recording my water intake. I think I'm really down on my water intake as
Oh,
well.
I
So I
am
need to
too.
do that. Yeah, I need to really focus on that. And it's hard because I travel to so many different schools all day, every day, that I just need to find their bathrooms and make sure I know where they are when I get there. And then my third goal was to lose weight. That's a really big one for me right now. And then I just put as an action plan because I wanted to start small, I guess you could say, is to lose 2 pounds a week by tracking my nutrition at least 3 days a week. And I'm hoping to do more, but I need to be realistic with myself and getting into a mode of, just a plan. And then I will drink my Shakeology every day and then posting in the group at least 4 times a week. So, and again, I'm hoping I will do more, but once I start on a pattern, I'm hoping that I can get set and get my mind set right.
Awesome. So something I just put in my Cozy app. So I'm gonna post this every Sunday night, starting January 1st in our team challenge group. I'm gonna post here are my quarter 1 goals and here's my action plan for the week, because we're doing this now, but I don't want us to just set it and forget it, right? Like, I don't want us to just do this tonight, be like, all right, here we go, and then forget.
Yeah.
Like, I know you just said you have it on your phone, but so a habit in goal setting is to rewrite your goals the same time every week. And one of the things that helps me is sometimes I'll do it in a very like quiet space. Or sometimes if I need, like maybe after this quarter when I hit these goals and I'm like, okay, now what do I want to do in quarter 2? And I need my brain to think, I try to go and sit near water and just have the energy from water. Yeah, right. We have our best ideas in the shower, right? Like there's some science around energy and water, right? Sometimes luckily I live right next to the lake, so I can just drive down to the boat ramp and because in the winter I'm not walking down there, but I'll just like drive down in my warm car. But something like that, or I always bring my journal in the summer when we head down to like the Cape and just go near the ocean and stuff. I always just have my journal in the car, like just because the ocean just gets me so much going. Oh, let's do this. Oh, like I just plan my life around like when I'm near the ocean, like so many ideas come up. So that's a habit that we can get into together, where we can share them, or you can just say, oh, thanks for the reminder, and you can do them yourself, however you want to do it. But every Sunday night, I just put it in my app that I will post my goals in the group, and then I'll invite others obviously to join me. So kind of like our meal plan on the weekend log that we do, I'll do a goal setting log on Sundays. I just find Sundays is a good time to sit with my thoughts and prepare for the week. Like we do meal prepping on Sundays, we do, so I think it's a good time to do the goal setting too. And then we can start, doing more goals and different goals. Like I just want us to get in this habit and doing just a couple so that we can just create these habits that we've slipped away from. Like as soon as you said water, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I've been sucking at water lately and I don't know why. Like, so just getting back into little things like that. Awesome. Cool. And I think the accountability for the groups and sharing is just is big for all of us. Like it just helps. It's accountability for us to actually post because we're doing the work. Like if sometimes people just forget. So I totally get that. But it just gives us that extra accountability, because sometimes like if I'm not posting in the nutrition log, chances are I'm not following my nutrition because I'm like, do I really want to tell them that I took that big extra heaping scoop of ice cream?
I said, I'll eat tonight on my way home. I grabbed 5 Reese's Soldiers that my sister had out.
Oh, you know what I did this season? And Mark was like, stop, everything's so expensive. I went to Hilliard's like twice and got instead of getting a bag of Hershey Kisses for $2.99 at CVS, I got a bag of like
the presents or something.
Like presents, or the snowmen. The presents are big. I was like, oh, those are too big. But like the snowmen for $10, and it's half the size of the Hershey Kisses. But I spent $150 the first time I went there. Mark's like, did you just spend $200 at Hilliard's? I'm like, $150. Like, no, 200, no. But what I did is I got gifts for the dance teachers and like so. The mailman, the milkman, like, so I did little boxes of truffles for but I also, and one for me, and one for the mailman, one for me, one for the milkman, one for
my kids' candy for their stockings comes from, it's a store that's similar to Hilliard's. It's Furlong's here in Norwood. It's been here forever. Before I think my parents were little, and they make the best homemade peppermint bark. And that's like my absolute favorite candy. And besides peanut butter cups, And like, I go and I spend stupid amounts of money on candy when my kids would be just as happy with the peanut butter cups on sale at CVS. But I always go because I get my peppermint
I
and
know.
I eat it in the car on my way home.
I know, it's so, and the Hilliard's actually had a big section of Nutcracker stuff. So I was able to get all the girls that are in the Nutcracker from, so I got, so that was.
I went
awesome.
there a lot in college because I went to Stonehill.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Used to
Yeah.
walk there.
Yeah. It's on the way to Mark's work every day. So I don't know how he doesn't. Vera, right? Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining. I was going to share my screen a little bit and go over Beachbody On Demand, but it's already 8:40. So, oh, hello, Ella. But I will do that in another video because I do want to make sure everybody knows everything that they get with Beachbody On Demand. I feel like people don't really know. And so I'll do one now, but then I'm going to have to do another one when they change the whole thing and it rolls into one. And I'm going to be figuring that out with you guys, but I'll do a quick, like 5-minute video because I think I have one on our channel, but it might be like 15 minutes because I shared other things in it too. So I'll try to do just a quick 5-minute thing that you guys can just scroll through. And the other thing is I do it on my computer and it doesn't look the same as on the bike, as on your phone, as on your Roku, on your Fire Stick. Like, so it looks different on every single device. But just to give an idea of what things look like and how to search for things. I think that's the biggest thing, especially on body, is how to search for the actual workouts. Like I try to just put in the trainer in the beginning, but on my Roku, I went to do that today with Shanti and you can't on the Roku, you have to pick a category first. But on the app, I can hit browse all and just put in the trainer. But on the Roku, I have to pick a category and then do the trainer. So, yeah, so it's so different, but you just learning those little ins and outs on all the devices, but awesome. Thank you. I'm excited for 2023 to kind of get this goal setting back up and running in my life. I'm going to do them, so I'm going to post this to our Team Passion Training YouTube channel. And you can certainly watch last night's goal setting. It was more, it wasn't just focused on health and fitness. It was more like the business, but it was also, we talked about like setting personal goals and relationship goals and spirituality goals and like whatever those goals look like. But we talked about setting like top 10 goals for the year every Sunday as well. So that went into a little more detail with expanding your goals, but I did want to keep them a little separate, but that one's there too, if you wanted to take a peek at that. But yeah, let's continue to just keep this in the forefront and continue to talk about goals more often than we do now. All right. Thank you. It's good to see
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye.
All right, have a good
See you in the
night.
morning.